There we go. Recording. All right. Let's get this set up. I've got my notebook here.
Woohoo.
Let's see. Ready, set, go. Hi, everyone. This is Abhishek from ShakeTheCosmos.com. My guest today is Lauren Turton. She is a revenue expansion specialist for wellness experts. She's successfully worked with over 200 companies on their marketing, branding, advertising, and events, and has leveraged those assets to scale their businesses. I'm really excited to talk to Lauren today, as she will share how to scale your wellness business so you can change the lives of countless people around the world. This will in turn shift Earth to be a healthier and happier place for all. Thank you so much, Lauren, to be here with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to connect with you further and to talk to your audience. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to jump right into it. We're going through some difficult dynamic times. Small businesses, many of them are trying to pivot, and everybody talks about this thing called the niche. And I'd love to kind of talk about that today. I know you have a system about that. So let's dive deeper into why that is even more important than ever today.
Yeah. So first of all, what is a niche?
Oh, that's a great point, actually. Yeah, let's just dive into that first. I am taking notes.
So a niche is a distinct segment of the market that you're working with, and it's a focused target area that you serve particularly well. And when I'm working with my clients, at first I get some resistance about niching down. They say, well, I want to work with everyone. I want to help everyone in the world. And that's amazing and great that you want to help everyone. But the reason why you need to niche down is because it comes to your marketing. You want to be able to craft a message that's so specifically tailored to them that it is magnetic. And you're going to be speaking to their hearts.
So now, the niche is almost like, maybe I've heard other terms for it too. Like, is it the same as like target customer? Those types of terms people throw around?
Yes, exactly. Who is your target audience? That's what you want to start narrowing down on, because after you figure that out, who your ideal client is, where they go, what they do, where they're hanging out, all of that information, you use that data to form your marketing messages. And once you have that figured out, you'll be able to speak directly to their hearts.
So I see. Okay. So then why it's important now is because does it let you like link the marketing with it better? I guess just trying to understand, like, what does it mean to niche down? Like, is there such thing as niche up?
So you want to niche down because you want to have the marketing message tailored specifically to the people that you're working with, so that when you get them on a call to work with them, you're not selling them. They're already sold based off of your marketing message.
So I guess, a business that starts out, they go out and build a product for people, and hopefully some people start paying for it. And then, like, I guess, so who becomes the target customer really? Is it the people who pay, or?
So one of the strategies that I use in how to find who your ideal client is by looking at the younger version of you. And I want to clarify, my clients are service-based businesses, not product-based businesses. So I just want to clarify that for your audience.
And why actually, that's a good clarification. So before we get into the strategies, like, why is that important, kind of understanding that?
So I just want to let people know that I am not an expert on product marketing, that I know service-based marketing. So that's why I wanted to clarify that.
That's nice to know too, like from a business model perspective, where we're headed here as well. So yeah, what are some strategies you're finding your clients using for niching down?
Yeah, so one of my favorite ways, and this is particularly for experts who are taking their services online. Maybe you're a yoga instructor an acupuncturist, a massage therapist, and now you're going to start taking your services online and building out an online course or program. And you want to figure out how to niche down. Well, look at the younger version of you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean age-wise, the younger version of you, but what is an obstacle that you've had to overcome that you can now help other people with? That's one of the ways to look at the younger version of you. And for me, the younger version of me was working with clients one-to-one, running around all over town from client meeting to client meeting, gig to gig, and then taking my services online. So I have such a passion for working with my clients and taking them out of the one-on-one space because I know how exhausting that can be. So that's the younger version of me. And that's how I was able to niche down, was because I looked at the younger version of me.
Right. So just trying to understand it even further, like simplifying it for myself. Like, so I am 34 years old, and let's say, so a younger version means essentially going back to when the business was younger almost, or like when it was starting and what kind of activities somebody was doing.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like business wise, it can be personal wise too. So if you're a therapist or somebody who does mindset work, where were you 5 years ago, 2 years ago, and things that you overcame? That's now something that you can help your audience with, because now you have the tools and strategies on how to overcome that obstacle.
I got it. So then really it's going to be going back 4 or 5 years and then seeing what were those things, because now today I can potentially be an expert in those things and help others with it.
Yeah. And you don't even need 4 or 5 years of experience. You just need to be a couple steps ahead of them.
Interesting. Okay.
And that is a limiting belief that people need to overcome. Oftentimes people will say, well, I don't have a degree in that. I haven't worked in that field for X amount of years. You just need to be a couple steps ahead and be willing to go all in on helping your clients.
Totally. I mean, that's like a corporate problem as well when people are trying to switch into different functions. So like somebody's trying to go from into product management, but they've never done product management. But that's fun to kind of just looking at the younger version of yourself. So what are some like top 3 tips you would give like people who are just starting their journey, you know?
So I would say number 1, you need to identify, do you want to help people or do you want to have a product-based company? That's the first thing you need to decide. Do you want to help people and work with clients, or do you want to have a product-based company? Either is fine, but just make that decision so then you can focus all your efforts on what you decide.
That makes me think like really important how you were like very clear. Hey, I'm about this service. We're going to be talking about service business. So you make that distinction right away.
Yep. And that's what people who need to do, who are figuring out, wait, I need to either pivot my business or start a business. Do you want a product-based company or service-based company? So first, figure that out. And then second, invest in an expert or a coach who will get you to your desired results. A lot of people resist when it comes to investing with a coach. And I have to tell you from experience, it will be the best investment you ever make, because now that person is working with you and they're going all in and you're going all in on getting your desired results. And not only is that investment going to pay off in regards to that, but it also pays off in that now you're tapped into their network. So you have a lot more opportunities that come your way because your coach is then going to introduce you to their network.
So like deciding number 1, whether it's a product business or service business, the number 2 is really the coaching, finding a coach or expert. So I guess just to understand that more, you mentioned like the return on that investment could be pretty useful. And
Huge.
Maybe that's sort of the barrier for many people. I mean, like, oh, why should I spend XYZ amount of money?
And that's the thing too, that it's really interesting for me to look back on my business adventures, because I had those same resistances to investing money in a coach or having to pay for this or having to pay for that. And you have to realize when you start a business, you have to spend money. It's part of the game. It's how it works. So if that's something that you're like, I can't spend money, then okay, maybe you shouldn't be a business owner, because you do need to spend money to start a business. So
I like how you went to the younger version of yourself there.
right,
This is just like supernatural for you.
it is.
I mean, I guess the other thing is like, how can people interview coaches? Like, there's so many of them out there. Like, you just want to,
So
what might be some
do
ways?
your research and start looking around and seeing who are the experts that are going to get you the desired results that you want. So let's say you want to create an online program. Okay, great. Start researching online program, for the wellness industry, and
Mm,
see what coaches specialize in your niche. And then book a call with them, have a conversation with them, seeing what's happening in their world. And if you vibe and the offer is right, work with them.
yeah. And I don't know if this is as common too with like when I do like real estate stuff and property management, we'll call some of their clients
Mm-hmm.
as well, and just to kind of call their references, and sometimes other people could tell you more about that person.
Totally. So yeah,
um,
just do your research and start seeing what's out there and see what hits, and then go for it.
so someone starting their entrepreneurship journey, number one, decide, hey, is it service or product? Number two, find a coach expert, tap into their network. What's number three?
Number three, as you enter the entrepreneurial space, you're going to find that your interests are now different, your conversations are different, and you need to be in a network of people who are having those same conversations as you. So you might need to look at what you're doing socially. And I know right now we're, doing social stuff virtually, or just, hanging out the people you live with. But if the conversations you're having with your network are currently just about other people, and it's like gossipy and things like that, you might have to cut the cord and make some tough decisions on the conversations you're having, because you want to be having high level conversations. You want to be interacting with people who are on the same level as you or higher, because they're going to take you up to that next level. I know that my friendship circle changed drastically when I decided to become an entrepreneur.
Wow. I
Drastically.
mean, actually, yeah, maybe would you mind like sharing how did yours, like what was that transition like? How did you make that transition for yourself?
It
Um,
was it was something that I started to notice that I didn't want to be in the conversations I was in. And the conversations weren't enlightening me. They weren't stimulating me. And then I started realizing like, oh, these are just like kind of gossipy based conversations, or we're just talking about like what's happening right here at the event that we're at. And so I just started seeing it, and then just started backing away from those situations. And
yeah.
I had conversations with friends where I would tell them like, hey, I'm really focused right now. This is what I'm pursuing. If I don't engage in social activities, this is why. And my
Yeah.
friends who were the real friends have supported me through that. And the friends who were not real friends, they went away.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing your own experience as well. I mean, I think um, yeah, I appreciate that. And so, like, that's really number three is sort of, I think, to use your word, like increasing the level of your network. And really, that's really powerful. And I guess still kind of really putting myself in somebody's shoes who's still starting out. Well, let's say they don't have a network that's all leveled up and high-fi and high
Mm-hmm.
level. How can, like, what are some resources maybe they can tap into that might be like kind of available to people?
Well, I think you guys have all heard of Facebook.
What
And
is that? What's Facebook?
fortunately, on Facebook, there are so many niche specific groups that you can get involved in. And I would say one of the first ones that you can jump in on is ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is an amazing platform. It's where you build your membership sites, your sales funnel, all that fun techie stuff. Their Facebook group, I don't know how many thousands upon thousands of people are in it, but just getting in on that group, and you can start learning different strategies, tools, and techniques that you're going to need to know as a business owner.
Thanks so much. I mean, that's a new term for me, actually. What is, I want to make sure we include maybe some of these links in the podcast description as well. But what is, for our viewers, like, what is a ClickFunnels?
A ClickFunnels. Oh my God. Okay. So for those who don't know what a sales funnel is, you know what it is because you've been a part of many of them. You know when you see a Facebook ad and it's speaking directly to you and you're like, how did Facebook know that I love yoga? Whatever the topic is. And then it says, free download, put your email in for this free sheet, and you put your email in, and then next thing you know in your email, you get a free download, and then next thing you know, you're getting another email from that company, then another one, and then another one. That's an example of a sales funnel. So
okay, this finally explains, when a lot of things actually.
Yep, it explains a lot, doesn't it? And that is built on ClickFunnels. There are other platforms that you can build these funnels on, but ClickFunnels is the main one. It's started by an amazing businessman named Russell Brunson. Everyone look him up if you haven't heard from him. I'm obsessed with what he has created. And like I said, his Facebook community, it's just packed with business advice, information, tools, tips, tricks, strategies.
Well, I appreciate that. We'll be sure to include a link to some ClickFunnels information as well. But so really 3 things. Somebody, thank you for sharing those things as well. What are any other last shout outs? Or I know you have some online offerings as well yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say real quick, a couple things that you can use and leverage right now in this time is if you're a writer, sharpen your copywriting skills. There are so many books, Russell Brunson's books about copywriting. Sharpen your copywriting skills because that is something that you can get paid for as a freelancer. Copy that converts, specifically for sales funnels. So if you are naturally a good writer, learn copywriting. That's something that you can leverage right now, and it's hot. People need copywriters. Right. Oh, and then to go to the free offer that I have. So I have a downloadable blueprint for you all, and it is the steps to create your online offer. And so it walks you through 3 phases where we start extracting your intellectual property and putting it into an online program. And you can get that download at www.thewealthywellnesssystem.com/SPLM.
We'll be sure to include that link as well in the podcast description.
Thank you. And with that download, it's there's several blueprints that go with it, and then there's a 20-minute training that walks you through those blueprints.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you call that the blueprint. Blueprint. Yep. It's
the blueprints to create an online program.
Boom. Yay. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you today and all this discussion. Learned some new terms today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.